Good Monday afternoon, everybody. This feels weird.
It does feel, I haven't been here with you for a while.
For months. But Taylor Gattoni is off today, so I'm Krystle Holleman here with Studio 10's Claudia Sella on this kind of gloomy Monday. But what Monday is it?
You know, I'm not going to lie. Now, I got a lot of heat for saying this in Studio 10, so if they're listening, I'm ready for fall.
So ready.
This weather makes me want fall. But I want a couple more warm weather, days. Yeah. So, but this is exciting.
I want fall, but I want like that one just like last gasp. Especially now that my vacation's over.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm ready for fall.
Yeah.
But I saw lots of Halloween decorations out already. Before I left for vacation, the Halloween store next door opened up. So
I went to Walgreens today on Jolly and Cedar, and they were taking out bags of candy that was Halloween themed. So that was
and you brought none of it back.
Scary, as Halloween is scary. But yeah, well, if you're all cozied up in your house, we have a great way for you to spend your time, and that is to tune into Studio 10 at 3 p.m. because we have a great show today. It is fair season, and we've been going to local fairs all summer long, but Rochelle is going to Jackson today.
Okay.
She will be there for the entire show, giving us the insights about like what makes Jackson's Fair different. The thing about Jackson's Fair is the performances are really what like bring people in, and she's excited to kind of share the details behind that because, it is I would say this is one of the last fairs, not the last fair, but one of the last ones in our area for the summer. So it's kind of like that last hurrah. So
it is. It's like the grand finale
of
the
fairs.
Encore of everything.
Yeah. So it's we're excited. She's excited for that because she loves fairs. She just loves them, and I do too. But she will be there, and then on a little bit more of a serious note, we are talking about eating disorders today. Now, I know that can be a little bit triggering for some people, so we're going to give you a heads up on the show if it's not a conversation that you want to tune into, but it is lighthearted, and we are giving we are having a discussion with a podcaster who I think people will not want to miss.
Okay.
So there is a local woman who, in her own eating disorder recovery journey, she started journaling everything.
Okay.
And when she was in the thick of her recovery, she really was journaling, and she was detailing everything. And once she kind of came out of the thick of it, she realized this would have really helped me if I could kind of hear some of these thoughts from other people too.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she decided, I'm going to be that person for people. And she started kind of reading out of her diary with a podcast. And she turned it into a podcast called The Eating Disorder Diaries. And it's doing incredibly well. And she has incredible guests, including therapists, nutritionists, everyone who, has something to say a part of this conversation. And she also interviews a lot of people who are recovering themselves. And so she had a conversation with me, and that's going to be on our show today. And I think it's really, this can be like a really scary topic for people. But I think that this conversation is lighthearted and informal enough that people can take something from it. So I've had a great time speaking with her, and I really don't think people want to miss this. I also think her podcast is incredibly informative and entertaining. She's just a really good speaker. So I'm excited to share that on our show as well today.
And we showed you the Amazon, basically the Amazon page where you can listen to it, but I'm sure you guys will share some of that as well.
Yes, absolutely. She's almost on, I think she's on every platform as far as I've looked, which is fantastic. And then it is just kind of bringing it a little more local to Michigan summers, because it's still summers. It's National Lighthouse Day and Week. So, which is exciting because we are the state with some of the most beautiful lighthouses.
Some of the oldest lighthouses.
Yes. And so Nicole and I got a chance to talk to some women who are kind of behind, the research and taking care of those lighthouses. So, yeah, it's a really fun show. It's one of those days where if you're going to miss a day, today's not that day. Okay. So, we'll see.
I should share with you the lighthouse pictures I took from my vacation last week.
Yeah, you should. I think lighthouses are kind of spooky sometimes, but
It depends. I mean, my dad and stepmom got married at a lighthouse on Lake Superior.
They did? That's romantic.
Chris Point Lighthouse. And then I was just by the Grand Island Lighthouse last week, the really, really old one that's not in use anymore.
Yeah.
So
was their hearts just so lit from their love for each other that's why they had it?
No, a storm came through.
Oh. Well, that's a bummer. But yeah, it's I think there's some mystery surrounding our lighthouses, so it's definitely something you'll want to tune into. We do talk about hauntings too, which, All right, but other than that, we will see you at 3 p.m.
All right, don't forget you can catch everything Studio 10 on their YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe at WILX Studio 10. And you can also find them on all platforms, Instagram, website, and that's how you can email them, studio10@WILX.com. If you have any story ideas, maybe you want to share your favorite lighthouse, maybe you have questions about the upcoming show or a past show, you can always contact them there. Mm-hmm. This is weird.
You can. Yeah, we're back.
I know.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
First Alert Meteorologist Justin Bradford here, and we were talking a bit earlier about how the wildfire smoke really kept our temperatures down.
Yeah, it has, and that's been something throughout the whole summer, right? We're only still at the very end of the first week of August here, but we have had the smoke to deal with on plenty of different days this summer. Fortunately, not an issue today, but we talked earlier about how many 90-degree days we could have had in addition to what we have if we didn't have the smoke, because we had plenty of smoky days that were 87, 88, 89, just not getting to that threshold of 90. We would have had that brilliant blue skies and sun. We probably would have done so, and so that kind of did hamper us a bit this summer.
And as you can see here, it's a kind of cloudy day, like Claudia was saying. It's almost like a fall day.
Yeah, gloomy day outside for sure. And the temperatures have been slow to warm up. This is actually right out our back door in the Meridian Company Skycam network here in South Lansing, where, again, we're seeing some much cooler temperatures today. Similar scene over downtown Jackson from the Consumers Energy Tower there. And we'll round out that Skycam tour by taking a quick look at the Capitol, where, again, more clouds hanging on outside right now. Numbers have gotten to 68, and so we are improving. Still underneath those clouds, we've got the north breeze still. And we are going to see these numbers, I think, get into the 70s today, which is something that many of us north of Mason did not do yesterday. You're seeing temperatures stop right around 68, which is where we are right now outside. Now, you can see satellite radar has really seen the shower activity dwindle down. A few of those light areas of mist or sprinkles we had earlier, those have quickly faded out along with the rest of the system that continues to depart. Once that does get out of here, which, again, I think we've seen the end of the rain portion of that, but once the clouds get out of here, we'll have plenty more sunshine to deal with going throughout this week, and we'll get the 80s back in here, and so we'll still got that summer feel. Of course, it is still only August 7th, and you can see where the clearing has taken place. Places like Hastings, Ionia, seeing breaks in the clouds. Numbers are into the 70s. Alma, 74. We're at 69 degrees in St. John's and Charlotte. Jackson at just 65, one of the cooler pockets around. However, we are going to see that kind of fade away. You can see the heat behind it. Chicago, 75. Green Bay, 77. Places further north in our state where the sun's out, like Alpena, they're at 75 degrees. But again, here we're still underneath some of those gloomy skies that has been keeping us a bit cool. But the hour-by-hour forecast shows here us getting into those 70s. And some of the models really want to take us into the upper 70s this evening. I think for most it'll be around 75, and then we'll start heading the other direction overnight. Lows eventually bottom out in the upper 50s here, as you see by Tuesday morning. As we head into the afternoon, I do think tomorrow a dry day, despite the model trying to throw down a little shower activity getting overzealous here. I think you'll see here, again, Tuesday goes through dry, Wednesday the same thing. There is a system that approaches that passes and kind of splits. One end goes north of us on Thursday morning, the other just south of us, and I think we might get into the northern edge of that southern system a bit. That would bring maybe a small shower chance early Thursday morning. Aside from that, Thursday's a partly cloudy to mostly sunny day, and our next chance for showers and storms, as you see here, is going to come in on Friday late in the day as a few storms start to flare up. We'll have to keep track of that to see if we get any sort of severe weather, but we are expecting the 80s to return tomorrow and for the rest of the week. And that'll carry out into what I think is a great weekend. Saturday, 30% chance of storms, but that would be really early in the day, lingering from Friday's system. I think Saturday afternoon through Sunday evening are going to be very sunny, highs in the upper 70s, lower humidity behind that cold front once it blows through. And there's no big major warm-ups or cool-downs in this forecast, and so it's pretty close to normal for the time of year. Again, not too much going on as far as where we're at temperature-wise, and so that's good. It's good news. We're kind of right in the sweet spot. Again, some really nice days to enjoy this week. It has been a little bit of a gloomy get-go today, but we are off and running, and I do think we are going to see the sun before the day is done here. And so if you haven't seen it yet, if it's been getting you down a bit on this Monday, don't be worried. We're going to keep warming up until probably 6 or 7 o'clock this evening once the sun gets going, and that'll help us in a big way too. Get that vitamin D, and everybody will be feeling nice and better, I think, about the forecast as we've got moving forward. But, you know, the rains have been nice to get. Of course, there are still people who like to get the rains from time to time, especially our farmers, agriculturists around the area, or for your home personal gardens, not having to use your own water source. So that's nice to see as well. We'll get another chance for rain at the very end of the week. Other than that, forecast here looks pretty good moving forward for us.
All right, finally. I mean, I had really good weather when I was up north, but
Sure.
that smoke still lingering.
Yeah, it is, and it's been around all summer. You know, even when it hasn't been here, it's been elsewhere because those fires really haven't slowed down. So that's the unfortunate reality. As annoying as it is and as dangerous as it could be for us to breathe it in and deal with, it's been an ongoing thing for several months now. Hopefully the end in sight soon. I'm not so sure about it, but, you know, you can always keep your fingers crossed.
Well, as you're making your plans, don't forget to check out the First Alert weather app. That's easy to use and free to download. Two really good things when it comes to technology.
Yeah, and those features are great. Of course, you got the daily video updates that we provide. You see Colton right there. From time to time, we'll update these as necessary throughout the day, but they come up at least 4 times a day where we put some sort of video update out, and it's got, of course, your future and past radar, hour-by-hour forecasts, and all sorts of things, a whole lot more. Once again, it's absolutely free. All you have to do is search WILX Weather in your App Store or on Google Play. Great to have in the palm of your hand, and just a wonderful feature. And so we love to promote it. It's a great tool. You can use it wherever you happen to be, whether you're here at home, traveling to the Upper Peninsula, up in Canada, visiting Banff, or if you happen to go overseas somewhere, you can still use the First Alert Weather app to get all the info you need to know.
It's really, really, really helpful when you're planning your day, your week, anything like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to check in now with what our reporters are working on for 90 Minutes of News coming up, starting with First at 5. Let's send it to Aaron.
Rapids for the arraignment of Rashad Trice. Today, Trice was arraigned in federal court on 2 separate counts. The first one being kidnapping resulting in death, the second one being kidnapping of a minor. Now, Trice pled not guilty to both charges, but after the arraignment, we got to hear from the U.S. attorney on this case, as well as the special agent in charge of the FBI. We'll hear more from them on News 10 at 5.
Mars Anderson here. I'm at the Michigan International Speedway, where I know the big question is, did fans show up for that race that was postponed yesterday? The short answer is yes, but I'll have more on that in our 90 minutes of news.
A recent uptick in gun violence across the city of Lansing has city officials and law enforcement coming together to address the issue. Find out what they're doing to make sure you and your loved ones are safe in the community. Coming up today on News 10 at 6. Krystle, back to you at the desk.
And you saw Mars there at Michigan International Speedway. Firekeepers 400 actually just wrapped, and I have it right here.
Cool.
Chris Buescher from the number 17 Ford won. It's his first win of the season. And so we'll have more on that coming up. I know Joey Ellis was down there. He got here pretty early to get down to MIS.
Sweet.
So we'll have more on that coming up later today, too. Until then, we'll see you guys a little bit later. I've got Stout on Sports later at 3:30.
Sweet.
Lots to talk about with Tim about all that. I haven't talked to him in a week, so if you have any questions or comments for Tim about the NASCAR race being postponed, the moves in college athletics that came down last week, anything like that, the trades in the MLB, let us know. You can join our live chat. No place else in the area has a live chat where you can chat with a meteorologist right away, and we see it right here. We can answer your questions. We can give you comments on where you're at. No place else in the area has that.
Ask me stuff.
Ask him stuff.
I'm always happy to answer any questions or comments you might have. Let me know.
All right. Well, that's what we have coming up. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Thanks for tuning in.